Hey there, I am Marina Orms, and today I wanted to talk to you about Mercury retrograde and what Mercury retrograde specifically can bring us in terms of healing and self-care. So how can we look at Mercury retrograde, those times when Mercury is going backwards through the zodiac? How can we look at that in terms of our healing process, our needs, our self-care, and our awareness, and how to work with it most positively and effectively? And this would be true for us. It would also be true for anybody we might be caring for or taking care of or working with. If you are in any kind of industry where you're providing customer service, you might be thinking about how to take care of people that way. Certainly, nurses and healers are thinking about how to care for the people that are their responsibility. And so how can knowing that Mercury is retrograde help us in our abilities to be present, to be effective, and to provide support? Because of course, astrology is helping us have that awareness of what's going on in the energies around us. And through that awareness, we can be working with the energies and see what they are bringing us that is positive and healing, and a healing opportunity. So we've got Mercury going retrograde coming up here on December 29th, and Mercury goes retrograde 3 or 4 times a year. So it's a pretty common occurrence. It's gotten popularized in the mainstream. Everybody knows Mercury's retrograde and that means something, but maybe we don't always remember what it means. So in general, Mercury is the planet of communication. It's the planet of ideas and thinking and mental processes. It's how we engage our minds to learn, to seek information, to process information, to problem solve. It is the part of us that needs to be curious and explore and learn about the things that we're curious about. So when Mercury, the planet of mental processes and curiosity and communication, goes retrograde, what that means is it's taking us into a period of review of the places we have already been in terms of our thinking. And so whether it is something that you have already thought about and you're being asked to rethink it, or it's something that you've already done and you're being asked to go back over it and go through it again in terms of your thinking, those are the kinds of things that might come up. When Mercury is retrograde, it's asking us to go through a period of reflection, of looking back on where we've been. So let's think about what that means when we apply it to a healing process. If we are working on healing body, mind, emotion, spirit, whatever we're working on healing, we are in a process of learning things. We are learning who we are. We're learning new approaches. We're learning what we need. We're learning how to do the things we need. We're learning implementation. We're learning cause, how did I get here? What do I do about it? So there's so much learning that goes on in a healing process. And when Mercury goes retrograde, one of the things that happens is we're reviewing what we've already learned. So going back over it, maybe seeing things in a new light, maybe reviewing what we've already learned to take it in more deeply. Maybe understanding at deeper levels. So So understand that when we or somebody we might be caring for is going through a healing process, and then Mercury goes retrograde, there's some time there for thinking things through, thinking about them differently, going through a little bit of internal reflection. It's a good time for journaling. It's a good time to say, yeah, we talked about that, but let's go back. Let's look at it again. Let's pull that up again. Let's review that. Let's reflect on what we learned and what we might know now, and how what we're experiencing now might bring us a deeper sense of awareness or more information or more data, and how we are going to connect the dots of the data that we have to paint a bigger picture about it. So, and some of the things to watch out for when Mercury is retrograde are miscommunications. So one of the things that's not happening is moving forward. And one of the ways that can show up is that somebody might say something and somebody else might hear what was said differently. Might not hear the same thing that was said. That can happen, by the way, that can happen in a very physical, practical way, like literal muddling, or the communication breaking down, your cell phone doesn't work, the line is crackly, you can't literally hear what was said. It can also happen on other levels. So maybe you're in a different headspace than the person who was saying something, and you missed the main idea, or you misunderstood, or you took it in differently because you're just in different places. The things are going backward. So it's really important when Mercury is retrograde to verify your communication, to double check, to say, okay, reflect back to somebody, here's what I heard you say. I just want to check and make sure this is what you meant. So double checking things that you have put in motion. So, one of the things I always say with Mercury retrograde is double check your travel plans, confirm things, reconfirm. So in a healthcare setting, when you're caring for another person, that could look like double check your medication plan, double check what was done on the previous shift, double check the chart notes. What is it that needs to be, let's just confirm that before we move forward. And that's all it is, right? Sometimes mistakes might happen, as life tells us, but in general, if you just remember to take that extra step of double checking, it's going to help cover your bases hugely. Same idea with your computer systems. That's why we back up when Mercury is retrograde, because there's that possibility for things to break down, things to not be communicating with each other, even in the tech world. So make sure information is available, make sure that the people who need the information have the information. Make sure that in your communication with your patient, your client, whoever you're caring for, that person has the correct information, and that they heard what you said, and that they read the thing you gave them to read, or that they know the things they should know. So double checking the communication, double checking the information, and also to remember at a bigger picture level that all of us are going through a deeper reflection on our own healing process. So we are healing, we are connecting with a deeper awareness of the information, like I was saying in the beginning, like how we might be gaining more information, we might be seeing deeper into something, and we might gain some new awareness through the process of reflection, review, redoing, Have you ever lost something on the computer that you'd been working on, for 2 hours, and then there was a breakdown, and something crashed and you lost your work and you had to redo it, and you realized that through redoing it, you were actually able to do it better because you're in a different, you've already been through the process. Or, sometimes, of course, it's annoying to have to redo something you already did, but it can also be beneficial in terms of maybe it's coming through more clearly this time. Maybe you're finding the words. Maybe it's being communicated more effectively. So that is what Mercury retrograde can bring. It can bring those opportunities to do it again, to think about it again, to find the words in a new way. And communication is all about language. So use how we use language and the words that we choose, and really thinking about what those words are going to be. So that's another thing to check, is your presence, your state of mind, your attitude, and where is your communication coming from. So getting yourself grounded, getting yourself centered, breathing into your heart, and so that you can be present and communicate more on that, maybe a nonverbal level or a heart-to-heart level. Like, okay, I'm saying these things, but I want to make sure that you're hearing the intention behind them, and that way the information will be taken in more deeply and be more powerful and effective. So we can support ourselves in our own healing process by going back over information, by, you're thinking about something and you're like, wait a minute, let me go look that up, because I had this assumption, but I just want to go verify that. I want to go double check that. That's a perfect kind of thing to do during Mercury retrograde. Double check, review, research, all the rewords, and rewrite, reevaluate, reflect. So those are the kinds of things that are going to support the healing process, so that when Mercury goes direct, we can start moving forward and have things in a better place, right? Like we've gotten our mind wrapped around something that's more powerful and effective and meaningful for us. And now we can move forward based on that and work with that Mercury then going direct. So hopefully that's helpful, Mercury retrograde, and how it can support a healing process, and how we can think about self-care when Mercury is retrograde. And so looking forward to that as Mercury stations retrograde on December 29th, just before the beginning of the new year. And so we'll be heading into the new year with Mercury retrograde, and getting to rethink things and how we want to be and do as we begin this new adventure of 2023 that is coming our way. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening and sharing your comments. I would love to hear what you think. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. I've got some awesome videos in this playlist, Astrology for Nurses. There's also, astrology for you and your self-care. So check it out. Thank you for being here. I'm Marina Orms. You can find me at astrologyheals.com, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.